mission, boys, mission. Okay. Always a Saturday, man. The old man wants his cigarettes. We got him babysitting the kids today. He's got the kids over, his daughter's children. Can't go anywhere. What a day, man. Glorious, gentlemen, glorious. Beautiful, beautiful day. It's a beautiful day in the neighbourhood, a beautiful day to be a neighbour. Won't you be mine, won't you be mine, won't you be my neighbour? On a mission, mate, on a mission. Get it done early. Get it done early, viewer. On a mission, mate. Man, it'd be nice to fly out today, eh? There's a big aeroplane in the sky, dude. A big, massive one. Be nice, eh, man? Get your passport. Go and see another part of the world. Go and have an adventure. I call it adventure. We call it walkabout in Australia. If you're from America, we call it walkabout. You know? Got nothing else to do in your life? Just grab your backpack and go for walkabout. Go somewhere else. You know? I've lived all over Melbourne. All over. All the way from Ringwood, South Yarra, gosh man, Wanturna. Like all different places in Melbourne. I lived where the really rich people were. I sold them heaps of chuff. Heaps and heaps of chuff, mate. These fucking rich kids. In their mansions, bro. Swear to God, you'd lob up and it's like in South Yarra, this huge mansion. Massive fucking joint. But of course, you know, like I'm really well dressed and they know who I am. But I'm not allowed in the front door. You know, they just buy their shit from me. Buy their green. And that's it, close the door, bro. You're not welcome in their world. You're not welcome in there, man. You have to be rich to walk in that door. You know what I'm saying? Like the Sheilas that are in that door are all riddle rich bitches. Okay? And I sold them heaps of chuff. But man, I wouldn't like to be involved with them. Once you get to know them, no wonder they get passed around. They get passed around, mate. I swear to God, these rich bitches and these little rich guys, they all end up sleeping with each other. All of them. They just swap. You know, when they get bored or have an argument, and he goes to his friend, she'll go to his friend. Yeah, and the two guys, they had shagged everything, mate. Absolutely everything. And they just swap girlfriends every now and again when they get bored. Rich kids, mate. They lead a different life, bro. But they're so far up themselves, like they really do think they're something. And they're not, man. It's just mummy and daddy's fucking house. And I swear to God, one of them let me into his house once. That's how I knew it was all flash. But the flash is only on the outside. There's no flash inside. Oh, it's pretty bare inside. You know what I mean? They're not living the flash life inside the house, bro. Like it looks good from the outside. They open the front door, everything looks great. But once they actually invite you in, the kitchen's pretty ordinary, man. The bench tops are just fucking all clear and shit. Rich people live. But I went to the kid's room, you know, to smoke a joint. Sit down and listen to some music. That's what I was told. Mate, the kid lived in a fucking closet. He lived in a closet. Single bed. Nothing bare. Nothing in the room. Just a little stereo. You know. Maybe their rich parents know, you know, they can't let them have, because these kids just go fucking crazy or whatever. But yeah, he didn't live flash at all, mate. He might have had flash clothing and, you know, a nice car, but when he goes home to this fucking closet. This single bed closet, mate. I couldn't imagine taking a Sheila back. I really couldn't. You know, at least when, you know, we had the big house and stuff, I had a huge room. I had a massive, massive fucking room, man. And I shagged, I don't know, a few Sheilas in that room, just from the parties and stuff. Hello, mate. But they don't live flash, man. It's all fucking just for show. All just for show, viewer. You know? So anyway, man, I wanted to just talk about government corruption today. Just utter government corruption. You know, we all have it. Every government in the world has it. They just fucking corrupt. They are not for the people that put them in the seats in the first place. And people have got to start waking up, but I think they are, man. I really do think that, you know, they're waking up more and more and more to just distrust their governments. All of them, including our own. You know, Australian government just fucking lies their ass off, mate, the same as America. Absolutely denies everything, fucking lies about everything. You know, our latest Australian government lie is that we don't supply anything into the IDF and, you know, the killing regime, the genocidal killing regime, the Nazis, the real Nazis of the world. They never died, man. They never fucking died. They become worse and worse and worse than what they say that they went through. You know, we suffered this and we suffered that. The only victim. We are the chosen ones. And look what they're doing. Absolute genocidal fucking killing machine. Okay? Now, I'm not saying that those people are bad, or because if you let them take over, you've got full Sharia. Absolutely full Sharia. So, either, you know, both sides I don't really want a bar of, and I'm glad they're on the other side of the world. But they do not deserve what's going on over there, mate. I remember the body count just for the humanitarian aid was at 200. And I was like, this is just insane. Now we're at nearly 600 people. 600 people being killed just trying to get aid. Okay? You know, unarmed civilians, man. Just killed. You know, they opened the aid centre for 7 minutes. 7 minutes. And that's it. And once that siren goes off, you've got thousands of panicked people looking for food. They just start shooting. They just start shooting, man. Okay, so imagine, you know, the fucking siren goes off, you've got you don't know how fucking long it's going to remain open for. You're presuming that it's going to remain open for, you know, longer than 7 minutes. You know, this is only something we know after the fact. But imagine that, thousands of people trying to get fucking food, starving fucking people. There's no medicine, there's no electricity, no water, there's no nothing. You fucking people don't seem to understand because you're living in your luxury fucking lives that you lead in your mama's fucking spare room playing your fucking PlayStations. You know, you're watching it on CNN, you're flicking through it on TikTok. To you, it's just another fucking video. But these people are living this life. They're living this life, dying, starving. And you've got these, they sit opposite each other in their Oval Offices, mate. And they hand each other pieces of paper, sucking each other's dick. You know, you're going to become the Nobel Peace Prize winner. What the fuck are you even thinking? You're a genocidal fucking regime with an arrest warrant on your head, thousands of fucking bodies. You've got 380,000 people that have died in fucking Gaza, mate. 380,000 people. Okay? It is a fucking genocide. And as far as they're concerned, they're going to put them into a corner, put a couple of tents in there, and if you want to leave, well, there's the gate to Egypt or fucking wherever it is, and that's your choice. You can sit here and die of starvation, or you can just go over the border. Okay? So they want to herd the last remaining people that are left. So our governments are fucking as corrupt and as nasty, disgusting fucking that you could ever be. And the Australian government is exactly that. It'll suck the dick of fucking Netanyahu when he comes over. You know, it'll placate to these Jewish lobbies that are fucking wanting funding and new laws in Australia to guard against anti-Semitism. You know, to them even talking about Israel is anti-Semitism. Okay? You know, you're disagreeing with them, that's anti. Whatever it is, you know? And our government is sending, you know, F-35 bomber parts over to Gaza. We're supplying them with parts to fucking bomb these innocent fucking, you know, unarmed civilians. And you've got these gun-ho fucking Americans over there. I mean, absolute fucking, they belong in the backwoods of Louisiana somewhere. Get on, boy, we got one. Get on, boy, we got one. I got one. He thinks it's fucking free-range chicken time. He thinks he's out there hunting fucking, you know, turkeys, right? You got starving people, man. And where is anything, man? Where is anything? Just a bunch of fucking talking, mate. That's all we have is a bunch of fucking highly paid, $450,000 a year talkers. You know, and all they care about is their super, all they care about is their next payment and their next pay rise and keeping everything sweet. And when they don't like me, well, I'll just hand the mantle over to you, okay? And we'll just continue where we left off. I'll retire and piss off to America and get a nice little diplomatic job over there for $500,000 a year. My life will not change at all. I get a full payment from my super. I'm retired at 55 and I've got, you know, a full payment coming to me. And guys, when they leave office, they are so fucking highly paid that a normal man could live off that the rest of his life. But they don't do that. They move on to other diplomatic offices or maybe jobs at energy companies, and they do more damage to fuck the Australian public. And whatever government, American, whatever government you want to name, they are all corrupt. Corrupt to the core. I mean, they do not care about the people that got them into office in any way, shape or form. And I don't believe it's me and you that's getting them into office. I don't believe it's our votes or fucking anything else. Albanese got the office this time round with 33%. 33%, man. You know, like that's fucking nothing, mate. 33%. And they didn't even bother to finish the count. Because he got up to 33%, there's no need to do anything more, viewer. You know, he's won. He's won. Yeah, that's it. They don't even count. They don't even do it properly. It's not completely done. But because he got to this particular amount, we don't need to do anything more. You know, we've got our man for the office, and you end up with this dweeby, nerdy, fucking bloke that's just nervous around everybody, especially if it's a normal person asking a question, because there's only the particular media allowed. Normal people aren't allowed to ask these wonderful people anything. You know, there was a guy who asked a few questions of one of these people, and the guy's basically assaulted, mate, physically restrained by the people around him. You know, he's not allowed to ask a question. How dare you? Who do you think you are? And the tragic thing is, mate, that we think that we can change something that is never going to change. It's never going to be any different than what it is now, because it's all bullshit. It's all bullshit, ladies and gentlemen. The voting thing, the government thing, you know, this side, that side, it's all bullshit. All right, let me put my pocket in here because I've got to get some change for this fucking smoke shop. Just give me a minute. sorry about that. How do I... sorry, man, but, you know, she put the threat in like before. You know, you're not allowed to come into my shop. You know, you've got that in your, you know, you've got a phone, so just to save any problems, man, I don't go in there with fucking, buy anything. I don't buy a fucking thing, mate, nothing. Hi, miss. Miss, can I have 2 10s, would you mind? Just there. Thank you, ma'am. So anyway, let's continue with my thing, right? So total and utter corruption. And I don't know where it's going to lead, viewer, because there is no difference between those people and me and you. You know, and they're willing to supply the parts to bomb the shit out of everything and to kill everybody. What is the difference, man? What, because we live in a free society or some shit? What are you, fucking stupid? There's none, mate, none. None. There's none at all. And it scares me, man. Like for the future, sorry, Dale. For the future, we supply the parts that blow the shit up with the F-35s. And I was pretty disgusted in the whole thing, mate, watching these people congratulate themselves and pull each other's dicks, mate, across the table. And he just wants to say hello, mate. He just wants to say hello, okay? Good God, mate, I've never seen a golden retriever go off like that at another dog. Anyway, I've been watching this stuff, man, this Gaza fucking thing, mate. And aren't you just blown away, disgusted that they just sit there and talk? Like, it's non-stop discussions and non-stop meetings and, you know, every denial that you could possibly imagine. They fucking deny everything. And these Zionists, mate, they sit there and they talk, and it's like they're talking about themselves. It's like everything they say is a fucking confession. And they blame it on Hamas. Hamas, you got to get that right, mate. Hamas, okay? You got Hamas. You got to have that thing going, mate. It can't just, you know, it's got to have that on the end of it, right? At the start of it. And I see total weakness in our own government. There's nothing that would replace the Australian government that would be any different. We would just have another weak government doing exactly what they're fucking told to do. And what's disgusting is that they're not expensive. They're not expensive to buy a fucking president. It's not expensive to buy a prime minister, okay? I thought it would cost a lot fucking more than $400 million in campaign contributions for a president and fucking jack shit for a prime minister. I mean, a couple of $100,000, that's it. And that buys you a prime minister. You know, it buys you a trade minister. It buys you a fucking minister, brother. And then you can pass the laws that you want to pass. And it won't matter who agrees with you or doesn't agree with you, because they don't give a fuck. They do not give a fuck about the general public. You can all fucking die and suffer, mate, as the general public. We can all just fucking keel over. They'll gladly stick needles in us and fucking... They've made a lot of people die and sick. So no, mate. I don't know when it ends. When does it end, mate? It ends when we kill, when we've gotten rid of the Hamas soldiers and Hamas strongholds. You know, we've got to get our hostages back. Hostages are fucking dead, mate. Where in the fuck are you going to keep a hostage? Have you looked at Gaza? Have you looked at this fucking joint? Where are you going to keep a hostage, mate? They have killed fucking everybody. They've flattened the entire fucking joint, looks like a moonscape. And they've done the same thing in Rafah, all the way through the country, to herd the people into that one area. And then when they get them into that area for aid, and what do? They kill them. They kill them. They open the gates up, here you go, here's some food, come in, and 7 minutes later they close the gate. 7 minutes. And then after that, they say, well, we're closed. And then the people don't want to leave and they want food. So they start fucking shooting them. They start shooting them. Unarmed civilians. And no one says anything, mate. No one bats an eyelid. We just watch it on the news. And nothing comes into the compunction, mate. Nothing comes into the brain cell. And now we are so fucking stupid as a public, so stupid as voters, that we can watch two genocidal fucking homicidal maniacs congratulate each other across the table and no one bats an eyelid. So why would they care about an Epstein list? Why would they care about who's shagging fucking children over in an island? You know, who's doing this and who's doing that? Nothing ever comes out of these people, mate, but shit. Shit and bullshit. You think I'm bad? Mate, have a look at your governments. Oh. Hello. Am I a bit loud for you? Am I disturbing you? Oh, sorry about that. You want me to go away? And am I talking too much, am I? That must be where they live, you are. They live inside the tree, hey, look at that. That's where they slept last night. Nice and comfy and warm. Beautiful birds. Beautiful. Yes, you are. Wow, that is pretty. Australian wild bird, ladies and gentlemen. Off they go. Anyway, you know, you've got these maniacs, mate. Total fucking insane or genocidal thing. And in Australia, they're coming up with anti-Semitism laws now, mate. So you're not allowed to say this and you're not allowed to say that. You know, how dare you do that? You know, it's anti-this and anti-that, right? And they push through these laws, man. They push them through. And if you look at our Jewish lobby over here, mate, they certainly paid for it. Oh, dude, they paid for it, man. No, you can't deny it. The campaign contributions in Australia just went crazy. So that's all it takes. You just pay them. And then they agree with you, man. And they all go to Israel on a fucking holiday. You know, we're going to go and invest, you know, going to go back to the homeland, the motherland, you know. And everyone becomes Israeli for some fucking reason. Everyone becomes a Zionist and agrees with Zionism. Like, what a fucking joke, mate. If Zionism isn't Nazism, I don't know what is. I really do not. How can you possibly not be a Nazi, mate, if it's okay for you to herd people into a thing and then shoot them when they want to get aid, and you've killed nearly 600 people trying to get food, just trying to get food. Like, it's insane, right? And you think you're going to get an Epstein list? You think you're going to get clients? You think you're going to get, you know, the truth? Even when they come online and say, yep, we've got it here, it's ready to go, we've got all the paperwork, you know, it's disgusting, we've got a client list, you know, it goes to show you how corrupt that particular country is. It really does. And you've got this fucking Zionist sitting across there that knows everything that he's been doing, and he still sits there with a straight face telling you how he needs to be protected, you know, like he needs to be, his country needs protection, mate. These bitches, bro, these fucking Zios, they're really happy when they bomb women and children, eh? Like when they're bombing fucking unarmed civilians and they call it a stronghold, a hospital is a stronghold. And all the doctors and nurses, they're part of the Hamas. They're part of Hamas leadership. A doctor is a Hamas leader. So that's why they kill them. That's why they shoot them and bomb the whole fucking hospital. They have no fucking hesitation in anything, right? And they love a fucking woman and child. Oh, they fucking love shooting them in the head and getting the snipers up there. Imagine being a pathetic fucking human sniper that you sniper a child from fucking 200 metres away or whatever, and you sniper them and kill them. And you shoot them in the head. And you don't shoot them once, but you shoot them 2 times. It's a double tap. You know, it must be a very brave fucking soldier you are. You know, so they want to protect them all. These soldiers now that are not retiring, but going on holiday. People, you know, they want to be able to protect them. So you're not allowed to say anything against or ask them. And even when they sit in a fucking restaurant saying, "Yeah, I'm an IDF soldier, and I'm proud of it," rah rah. Yeah, you're not going to have too many people sitting around you going, "You're a cunt. You're a fucking low dog rat." You know, what did you do over there? Oh, you're part of the soul. So you know. Bang, you mate, there'd be no fucking hesitation, right? Well, they want to protect all that. You're not allowed to do any of that, okay? And that's why all of these people, mate, have fucked off to other countries. They're all in Greece and fucking Turkey, or mainly Greece right now. You've got fucking thousands of these fucking Zeos, mate, living over there in little enclaves, you know, with fucking fences around them, you know, because they need to be protected. They're pulling the same fucking shit they do in other countries now. You know, what they pull in Israel, they're going to do it in other countries now. And it's the same thing fucking applies, bro. You know, they need protection, they need fucking funding, you know, they feel under threat, you know, the same spiel, the same storyline, the same fucking bullshit. And America will fund all of that too. I'm just, like, Americans are so fucking dumbed down. They are fucking stupid, man. The American public is so fucking stupid. They're funding all of this. They're paying for all of it. You know, every bomb, every fucking thing that went wrong over there, they're paying for it, mate, with their fucking taxpayer money. And they're trillions and trillions of dollars in debt, and they still give these fucks fucking billions and billions of dollars a year in funding. I mean, it's disgusting. It is absolutely disgusting. And a lot of these Americans are sucked into it, mate. They truly and absolutely believe that, you know, these are the chosen people, and whatever they're doing, you know, is absolutely blessed, right? And they're just blood fucking thirsty fucks, mate. What do you want me to say? You know, like they don't feel anything with 300,000 dead and 400,000 dead, and it just doesn't ring a bell to them. It just doesn't at all. And they'll keep paying for it, mate, and paying for it and paying for it. Pushed by their social media, pushed by their pastors, mate. You seen the pastors talk over there? It's like Israel's the fucking, you know, like they are the chosen ones, and we've got to lay down our lives. And, you know, they want you to go to war. They want you to go to war and die for them. You know, it's not them that goes to war, mate, America. America does. The American men die. The American women die. They don't fucking die. They're sitting at home fucking comfortable, well paid for. You know, you pay their Medicare, you pay their health, you pay their dentist, you pay their fucking education. The American taxpayer pays for fucking everything for the fucking neo-Nazis, mate. And that's exactly what they are. It's a Nazi-killing, genocidal fucking regime. And there is nothing that you can find they can defend now. Nothing. And then they don't have to defend anything, viewer. I mean, they're pretty blatant nowadays. They come out and tell you. They're not afraid of telling you, hey, viewer. They're really not afraid. They come out and say it straight up what we're going to do, move them over to here, move them over to there, you know, they came too close to a soldier, you know, made the soldier feel nervous, so of course the soldier shot, you know. But the cunt's shooting with live ammunition. He's not shooting with rubber bullets against unarmed civilians. And that is what it fucking comes down to. You can put it any way you want, but that's exactly what's fucking going on, right? It's criminal, mate. It's against everything that I've ever known or everything that I ever thought of. You know, I didn't think that they would actually do that kind of thing, mate. And our government's so complicit in it, mate. It's a joke. Who knows what my government actually thinks, mate. You know, they don't mind supplying the parts, they don't mind supplying the body bags, you know. And nothing's going to change. Nothing will ever change, viewer. It'll be the same way until they wipe them all out, clear the entire area. They've got a nice Trump golf course coming in, or a nice Trump tower that'll get built, and that buys him. You know, he's more than happy with that, mate. You know, his legacy goes on, and that's all that will matter to him. Because they're just another corporate soldier. And you want proof? You want proof? Look at Dan Bongino. Look at Dan Bongino, okay? How much was he on your side? He was on the conspiracy side, he was on this side, you know what I mean? Like, he came out with heaps of shit, right? But look what happened when it came down to it, mate. Right? There is no list. It doesn't exist. We were wrong. It doesn't even say we were wrong. He hasn't said much at all, really, other than, oh no, we haven't got the list. There's nothing there. There's nothing there, viewer. There is no list. None of these people went to the island. None of these people, you know, did anything. We've got nothing to film. We've got nothing to show you. We need to just move on. Are we still talking about him? I can't believe that fucking orange man. He sits there and he says, have we got anything else? You know, why haven't we moved on? Why haven't we moved on? Like, that shit's hilarious. It's like they don't give a fuck, bro. They don't care what you think. You're just a pleb. You're just a pleb. We're just plebs. Yeah, we're just plebs. We're nothing, mate. We're nothing. The only time they're interested in you, mate, is when it becomes voting season. When it's time to vote. Okay? That's when they placate to the pleb. That's when they placate. And they get those votes, and it doesn't really matter if you voted for the other side. They only need 34% now, mate. They don't even count the vote. Australia is so fucking corrupt, bro. They don't even finish the vote. As soon as that fucking idiot got to 34%, he became Prime Minister. That's it. Okay? They didn't go past that. You know, they tried to say, well, there's no way you could get any more than that. You know, like he's got the most, rah-rah. And they let it slide, bro. They let him have it. They let him become Prime Minister in Australia. You know, you've got the same fucking people, mate, year after year after year. I mean, I am 57, and I've looked at these same fucking people for 30 years. The same people for 30 fucking years have been in there. Okay? So they become a cog in the wheel. A cog in the wheel of the corporation. And, you know, they go from no money to multi-millionaires. Multi-millionaires. And, you know, it's not hard to see why. It's really not. The campaign contributions are huge. Huge. They get a little percentage of each one. It's disgusting. It's total corruption. It's total corruption. And it's sad when you wake up to it. It's sad when you become a little bit, you know, more aware than the other people around you. Because you want to go back to the dream world. You want to go back to the la-la land. You know, of believing that everything's fucking sweet, everything is going to be okay. And it's not, man. We're heading into a really bad situation. And just slowly over time. And I don't understand why Iran stopped. Why did they stop? You know what I mean? They could have done exactly the same as Gaza. And there's got to be something to be said that none of the other countries want them either. So they're not a very nice people, man, when you look them up. Hamas and all of that. They're pretty bad. It's full Sharia. It's full fucking Sharia, bro. Yeah, pretty bad. So another country, another government, the Mali government, never heard of it. Mali government, M-A-L-I, went in there and seized a gold mine in the country just last week. They seized it because the gold mine wasn't paying taxes, wasn't paying, you know, to the country. So the government helicopters just lobbed up out of nowhere, and they took $117 million worth of gold from the mining company. The mining company had $117 million worth of gold just sitting there, mate. Okay, so yeah, the gold mine's doing pretty well, bro. But there's no taxes. There's no resources for the people. And you know, of course, the gold mine says, "Well, we're upholding our contract, rah." But the contract is shit. The contract means that they don't get anything. That's what they're complaining about. So the government just went in and seized the whole gold mine, closed it down, and then sent helicopters in afterwards. And over 1 ton of gold, over 1 ton, they seized. So maybe they're going to try and get back some of their people power over there. That was interesting though, wasn't it? Mali government out of nowhere, they came and seized they came and closed down all of the gold mines. You can look it up yourself, Google it. And they closed all the gold mines in Mali because they're the biggest, the highest producing gold mines, you know. Amazing, mate, amazing. You know, they're not putting up with it, bro. They're not putting up with it. So corruption, mate, we're surrounded by it. You know, the whole world works on it. And it seems the more wealthier you are, viewer, the more you can get away with. You know, if you're a rich bastard, a billionaire, and you're on some guy's island, and, you know, you're doing all kinds of things with whatever, you know, it was a blackmail thing, mate. Everything is filmed. There's film. There's cameras inside of statues, mate. There's cameras inside of the corners. Everything is fucking filmed, mate. And what do you think it's used for, Vilo? Why would you think that a billionaire would invite other politicians and fucking musicians and everything else, right, to an island, all right? And they find out what they're into. And some of these people are fucking disgusting, as you already know that. They are absolutely disgusting people. These rich people are disgusting. They're some of the most feral people you'll ever meet, mate. Their taste, they're fucking what they want in life is fucking a lot different than me and you. And these people are disgusting. Now, what do you think was happening to all those films, mate? All of those details, mate, when they get somebody dressed up as a women's clothing, or a politician dressed up as a women's clothing, or they get another politician sleeping with children, or they get a politician sleeping with an underage, what do you think they do with all those films, bro? Where do you think they go? Because those films exist, okay? All of that shit was filmed, mate. Everything is filmed, mate, okay? And now that list just disappears. It just disappears. It's magic, mate. It's like that episode of South Park, The kid puts his money in and it's gone. It's that instance, mate. We've got the list and it's gone. The list is gone. the list is gone now. They didn't do anything on the island, okay? They didn't do anything up there, okay? There was no films. Because you know why? It ties back to Mossad. Everything ties back to Mossad, mate. It ties back to the fucking Zionist regime, mate. It ties back to the Nazis, bro. Okay, they've got all that shit fucking taped on discs, and fucking they've got all that information, that blackmail material. What do you think they do with it, bro? Okay? They hold leverage over the government. They hold leverage over whatever his decisions are and whatever he's fucking thinking. They hold leverage over it, bro. That's what they do with it. They're not going to throw it away. If you've got a leading politician, mate, walking around in women's clothing, and he's so popular that they actually got a picture of him on the wall. They've got a picture of him on the wall. Bill Clinton, mate, in women's clothing. What do you think the guy didn't pose for that? You think the guy didn't sit there and fucking pose for it? Of course he posed for it, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so no, you got all that blackmail material, mate. Okay, it's all happening over there. And that's why it's not released. That's why. Because it'll tie back to Mossad. It'll tie back to a fucking spy agency where he worked for them, and he did this and he did that, and he was a full-on. He set people up. That's what his job was, to set people up, to get them over to the island, to make them do something they didn't do, even if they smoke a joint, mate, and they're supposed to be agreed. That's all they've got to do, mate. Anything at all they can get them on, and that's blackmail material. Okay. Like, you don't want that going back to your wife and your family, do you? So you're going to have to do what we say, right? And if they've got you banging fucking underage children, mate, or underage fucking teenagers or whatever, what do you think the power, they're going to have a lot of power in your fucking life, mate, yeah? So that's what it ties back to, bros. Because all of these fucking shit ties together, this Mossad, fucking the Zionists, mate, have been around for fucking 30 years. You don't think they didn't do 9/11? You don't think it doesn't tie back to the fucking buildings going down, bro? What, are you kidding me? Of course it ties back to them, mate. They blew the fucking shit out of those buildings, mate. They absolutely fucking did. Forget about the aeroplanes, mate. The aeroplanes can't take down a fucking 2 of these buildings, okay? And then you got building 3, mate. You got building 3. That fucking collapsed, right? And they're trying to say that collapsed from the aftershock, mate. The aftershock. the aftershock fucking took down building 3, Like they really do think you're stupid, mate. We are fucking stupid, mate. We just sit there like sheep. We nod our heads. We believe everything that's on 7, 9 and 10, which is absolutely disgusting. You're watching any news briefing lately? Mate, talk about suck the dick of fucking Zionism. Like, they fucking suck. Mate, they are on the full end of it, bro. Swallowing a load. Cradling the nutsack. And that's what they're doing to the Jewish lobby. That's the Jewish lobby, mate, in Australia. Okay? And that's the Australian politicians, mate. Sucking a fucking knob, mate. Cradling the nuts, mate, is what every Australian politician does to the Jewish lobby. They just sit there fucking agreeing to everything, and they bring in new laws. We've got new laws in Australia, mate, protecting fucking a particular, group of people that you're not allowed to have a comment about. You know, you're not allowed to say anything about it. You know why? Because they're fucking crazy Zionist fucking Nazis. And exactly like that old man the other day on the fucking live stream, he didn't like what I was saying, so he comes over with a stick, with a fucking stick, and he wants to hit me with it. Because how dare I talk about the fucking Jewish people? And no, I didn't talk about Jewish people. I talked about Zionism. I talked about Zionists, not fucking Jewish people. There's a big difference between the two. Okay? You want to agree with them? You want to fucking agree with what they're doing? Then you're a fucking Zionist. You like killing innocent people, women, children. You like bombing an entire society out of existence. You're a fucking Nazi. You're a Nazi. It's as simple as fucking that. If you can sit there watching women and children getting killed and shot for getting food, you're a Nazi. You're a fucking Nazi. If you can sit there going, yeah, 500 people, mate, that's not a problem. 600 people killed getting food aid at a fucking aid centre, you know, that's a Nazi. And I'm allowed to say that. I'm Australian born and bred, mate. I have rights. I'm allowed to say whatever I like against fucking Nazis. So I'll say whatever I want. And they can't do nothing to me because you've got to actually say it about the Jewish people. And no one's talking about the Jewish people. We are talking about fucking Zionism and Nazis. The same thing. The same thing, mate. And if you agree with that, then you're a fucking Nazi. In my eyes, anyway. It's really simple in my eyes, you know? It's pretty cut and straight, you know? Black and white, yeah? I don't agree with any of the Hamas. I don't agree with any of it, okay? Oh, I'm a right widget cunt. Oh, yeah, I'm a terrible cunt. I don't agree with anything. I agree, you know, but you know, they're trying to deflect history, viewer. They're trying to say that that didn't happen, that this didn't happen. Mate, you came on a fucking boat. You came on a boat in 1948 as a fucking refugee, you cunt. You had signs on the fucking boat. It's part of history. You can try and delete it from the internet, but it's fucking there. All you got to do is hunt for it. And you can easily see they came as refugees. The people welcomed into their home. And in a very short amount of time, they took your home. They took your home, your land. They fucking destroyed everything. They decided they liked your land. They liked your land. They liked your house. They liked your property. And it was promised to them 3,000 years ago. It was promised to them, your house and land. And people go, yeah, okay, you know, I'll just move out. I'll just move out. I've been here for 150 years. But because you've arrived and you're special, I'm going to move out. See you, driver. And mate, she smells really nice, man. She smells so nice, like a flower, like a rose or something, I don't know. So no, I just wanted to spend a little bit of time, you know, rehashing and waking fucking people up that hear my voice, because there's a lot of people in America and the rest of them in Australia and then England. That's basically it. And wake people up to, you know, I know yous are awake, but there's nothing we can do about it. And now they're going to come down on the protesters, mate. They're going to come down and charge the protesters, bro. If you're pro-Palestine, right, that's what they're trying to say, then you need to be arrested and charged, okay, because you're anti-this and anti-that. Mate, the Australian government considers a sign, you know, in any kind of sign that, you know, you write a sign, right, and it doesn't agree with the paradigm, yeah, that's anti-Semo. If you say a slogan, that's anti-Semo. Well, there's two instances right there. So they go to a parade and they watch everybody, and everybody that says anything or carrying a sign, they mark it down. And they go, look, there's 400% anti-Semitism has risen in Australia. That's because they counted each and every fucking thing that was there. That's how they get that amount. That's how they are in Australia, mate. We are fucking just as fucked in the head as you could possibly imagine when it comes to these kind of things, bro. Like, we are fucking idiots, mate, of the top order. Okay? The top order. Put his fucking smokes in there. Right, he's sweet. Get him organised. He's happy. Alright, I've done my duty for him. Yeah, he's not home, mate. He's go and visit the kids. I can't go there. I've got to go and watch the kids for a few hours. I need cigarettes, Charlie. You know, I'll be hanging for a smoko when I get home. So yeah, I like my friend. He, talks to me and stuff. Keeps me central, mate. Keeps me grounded. Like just talk normal shit. Normal stuff. How's your week going? Rah rah. What have I got to do? I try and explain what the things I've got to do. I got coming up. Hopefully, fingers crossed. Get to see our lawyer this week, which is great. I've still got all this time, 2 months to go. 2.5 months to go before it's court date again. But I need to absolutely brief this woman right up. I need her fully briefed. I need her knowing what's going to happen before we even go into court. And I know what she's going to do. I know what she's going to accuse me of. I know the things that she's going to demand. I know exactly what the fuck she's going to do. Okay? So I need to brief my lawyer so that he can head that fucking straight off. Because that's what these women are good at doing. They're good at throwing just fake accusations in. Okay? And then the court says maybe it's real, maybe it's not. Can't take the air of judgment on it. So we're going to have to go and do another investigation on this. So they can continue that for years and years and years. So I want to fucking hit that straight on the head, love. I know you listen to all of my lives. You can't fucking sit there telling me that you don't, because I fucking know that you do. And I know that my other ex-wife watches everything that I fucking talk about too. And you can both get fucked. Okay? Just so I fucking told both of you. Alright? I just want my kid. I don't want your fucking bullshit. I don't need fucking bullshit. At all. I am more than at peace now than I've ever been in my life with a fucking woman. 11 Saturday. 11:21. Oh, we've still got 6 minutes, mate. 6 minutes. I don't vote either, mate. Thank you for bringing that up. I only got to the bottom question there. I do thank you for your... I don't know what's in my chat. I hope it's all right. I do thank you for coming on and listening to me and for being a part of my channel. I appreciate you. I just get out and about. I do a live stream for a couple of hours, walkabout, and then I go home and I rest. I feel safer that way. I don't feel safe being at home, and if I do a live stream at home, I don't feel safe. So I just feel safer if I'm out and about, walking around, talking shit, and I can go home and I feel a lot safer, okay? Rather than sitting there waiting for somebody to fucking make a few phone calls and they want to do this and they want to do that. I've seen it happen to too many other streamers. But then again, I was a prick back then. I was a terrible, abusive, going off the trend fucking person. That was part of the shtick of the chat. That was part of it, mate, is me going off like that. But nowadays I don't, and I don't. The other people that get called on a lot are nuisance streamers. People that go into restaurants or fucking shit like that, and they annoy the staff or they go behind the counter. It's nuisance streaming, mate, is what I call it. And they cause problems in people's lives, mate, which I fucking hate. I really, really hate that. I don't want to interfere in someone's job or someone's fucking life or their family day or something like that. I even keep my voice down when someone walks past. I don't want them fucking, So we don't try and do that. So I do thank you for being a part of me shtick. But anyway, we'll get back to it, Theo. Get back to it. Well, what's going to happen in the future, mate? What'll happen, mate? Well, these cunts are going to kill everybody. They're going to bomb fucking everything. They're going to find a reason to go and fucking go to war with other countries. The Nazis are already bombing Lebanon. They're already into Lebanon, mate. They are killing innocent women and children in Lebanon. Carpet bombing it with fucking missiles. You can look it up yourself. The Nazis are in fucking Yemen. They're fucking bombing Yemen. And the Nazis are going to go into Iraq. And they're going to do it all with American blessing, mate. The Americans are going to pay for everything. Absolutely fucking everything. They're going to pay for every bomb, every fucking thing they're going to pay for. Okay, the American is. And they won't stop. It'll never stop until America fucking the public, and then by then it'll be too late. You know, the government is too armed, it's too well to the teeth, it's got too many soldiers, as I call them. I call cops, that's what I regard cops as, just the government soldiers. And you've noticed how they are with the public nowadays. They're more violent, they're more armed, they've got more, you know what I'm saying, shields and fucking rubber bullets and gases, and they've got weapons in Australia, these big fucking electronic weapon kind of thing, and they pull that out and they fire that at you, and it makes you get a headache, and it makes you like you can't stand, you lose your equilibrium. It's some kind of frequency device. And they've been using that in Australia, just experimenting it with the crowd, mate. Experimenting with it, mate. You know, ultra frequency fucking weapon of some kind. And they use that during the things you hear with the COVID. You know, look at it. Look at how they were in Australia with COVID, the government and the cops, man. Look how they loved that power. They loved locking us down. They loved fucking locking us down, man. And they held that power fucking like no tomorrow, man. They were willing to put you in jail, me in jail, fine you up the arse, take your property from you, bro. You know, even if you're sitting there alone on a fucking beach, mate, you had 4 of these cunts coming up to you telling you that you're not supposed to be on the beach. Like, fucking, what a joke, man. There's a film of it. One guy sitting on a beach on a chair, and 4 of them come up again to him and tell him that he's going to get fined and he has to leave the beach and it's unsafe, and, you know. But they're fine because they've got a jab. They've got a jab, mate. They've got a fucking jab. I hated that fucking jab, man. 2 years I hung out, boys. 2 years I hung out. Market was closed, everything closed. Couldn't go to a shop, couldn't do anything. Fucking no jab, you can't, you know, I had to get a jab to continue family law court. They put it right over me, man. If you haven't got the jab, then you can't go to the court. Okay? They put it right over me, mate. It was horrible. Horrible. And then I had the single jab and I really wanted to get a job, so I got a job. And of course you've got to be double jabbed to keep your job. You've got to be double jabbed. So all of those workers, mate, with families that were working in the steel factory, they all got jabbed, mate, without hesitation to keep their job, okay? To keep their job, brother. And they work their fucking asses off, mate. And they don't even clear, they clear $948 for the week, mate, if you're on permanent wage. $948 for the week. That's it. Okay? Yeah, it's not a lot, man. Okay, it's not a fucking lot. Trust me, man. By the time you've paid your rent, you've paid fucking bills, and the wife has taken some money out for food and your electricity and gas and your water, yeah, there is fucking jack shit left. You know, you can't take your family out to the cinema anymore because it's costing you fucking how much? $33 for a fucking cinema ticket. $33, mate, for one ticket. A fucking bucket of fucking popcorn's $12 for a bucket of popcorn here in Australia. Like the joint's fucking highway robbery everywhere you go. You know, you can't afford to fucking buy anything. All you can do is afford to pay for the toys that you have. You have toys, you got your car, your boat, whatever you're fucking paying off, your car loan, your credit card loan, you've got money for that, mate. You ain't got any money to left over. You're not banking fucking $200 a week, you're not banking $100 a week. They reckon that you need to put away 20% of your wage in order for you to grow. You need 20% of your wage just put away, forgotten about, doesn't exist, okay? And then you go from there. But they reckon you should do that every single week, so that, you know, you're slowly your savings will climb because you're not touching them. Yeah? So the old man next door, right, he calls me in the other day and he says, you know, I had $20,000 in a bank account. How much do you think they paid me for the 1 year? How much do you think they paid me for 1 year of it being in the bank? And I've gone, oh, I honestly, I have no idea at all. I'm just guessing, I suppose. And he said, well, don't bother. He said they gave me $7.50 in interest. $7.50 for $15,000 in the bank. You know, the 12-month account, whatever it is, you can't touch it. Yeah, man, he got jack shit. He got jack shit. He tied his money up for fucking 12 months and he got $7.50 in fucking interest, mate. You know, talk about getting shafted, mate, for an 85-year-old. He's 85 years old. He thought he'd have a bit of an interest earn. You know, an interest earn? Yeah. Poor bastard, mate. It cost him. He didn't get anything, mate. He got $7.50, man, interest. He got $7.50, bro. That was it. I felt sorry for him, mate. I really did. Because he tied up his money for so long, for 12 months. He tied his money up. So where is it going to go from here, viewer? Where does it go? Well, the world ends up getting fucking blown up, mate. China, Russia. If they get involved, mate, it's all over. Now, the Nazis aren't going to stop, mate. The Nazis don't fucking stop, mate. They're in Lebanon. They're in Yemen. They're going to blow the shit up out of Gaza. They're going to get fucking the old orange boy in there to fucking redo it all, mate, with fucking resorts and hotels and... You know, these people are bloodthirsty fucking Nazis, mate. Simple as that, fucking Nazis. Like, who wants to put a hotel over a fucking site, mate, that's been flattened with bodies underneath it, bro? You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, the karma just doesn't exist to these Satanist fucking regime, does it, bro? It just doesn't exist to them, right? Like, it's frightening, man. You know, of where it can go, of where it could lead to. You know, and what does it say for the rest of us, mate? When we can't even go out and protest, man, you'll get arrested for protesting in Australia, especially this one, because they've tried to ban the whole movement, man. You know, if you say, what is it, save Palestine or some fucking shit, then they want to arrest you, man, and charge you. You know, you're not allowed to say that, man. You're not allowed to say that now. But I do. I go on live YouTube and I call them all fucking Nazis. And I reckon they're a genocidal, homicidal fucking regime. And my government is complicit, your government's complicit, America's complicit. You know, all of these fucking Zionists, mate, these fucking Satanists, mate. You know, they all love fucking bloodshed and fucking bombing and destruction and fucking genocide. And wherever they go, man, that's all they do. They commit genocide, bro. Yeah, there's no list. The list doesn't exist. I thought that was hilarious, mate. The fucking list don't exist. The list doesn't exist. After everything that they said, after everything they came out with, you know, we've got the list, we've done this, we've done that, you know, we've got it all. We've got films, we've got the, you know, the guy owned four different homes, and everything is being videoed. Everything has been videoed. All those people were blackmailed. All the politicians, the superstars. You know, that's why Diddy of the world doesn't go to jail, mate. He doesn't go to jail. He committed all of that stuff, and he doesn't go to jail because he's got too much blackmail material. He's got too much on the discs, mate. If he releases it, it's going to ruin all of their lives, ruin the politicians' lives, the movie stars' lives. It's going to ruin all of their lives, right? And it only takes one politician. It only takes one politician. If there's one politician on the list, then the whole list will disappear. It doesn't fucking take many, mate. It just takes one. It only takes one because they have to protect the whole party, the political party. And then if it's going to bring it down, that means it's going to bring down the political system. So then they've got to protect the entire system. And that's why these fucking corrupt people that are in charge, every fucking one of them, protect it. They protect it, bro. Because if it brings down one system, then it'll bring down all the systems. It might bring the integrity down of the government systems around the world. And the whole thing's a system, mate. It's just a government system. It's fucking as corrupt as you can get. And it's not really a government. People think there's a government. There's no fucking government. There's no such thing as government. Government doesn't exist. Government is an idea that man has thought up to control other men. But it doesn't actually exist. Government does not fucking exist. It's a corporation. Governments are a corporation. They are not a government. They don't give a fuck about the people. They give a fuck about the bosses, mate. They give a fuck about the lobbies, the lobby people that pay them. You know, the people that pay the money, contributions. Yeah, that's who they care about. They don't care about the general public. We are just the fools that vote them into power. But it doesn't matter who you vote in. You're going to get the same. They're part of the same team. There's no opposition. There's no left and right. There's no like Republican and Democrat. There's no liberal and green. It doesn't exist. It's all man-made game. Like you know that game they play on the street. They put the thing in the shell and they move the shell around everywhere, and you try and find the fucking thing. It's exactly the same. That's what a government is. You know, who do you like? Who's getting the votes? Who's saying the right thing? Who can they make an enemy? Who can they make an enemy of for that election cycle? And then that person gets voted in because he's the one that's saying he's going to do this, he's going to do that, he's going to do this, right? But he doesn't actually do fucking anything. Look at Trump, mate. Look at Trump before he came in. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. I'm going to release this. I'm going to release that. Fucking JFK files, Epstein files, maps, telephone records, phone calls. He was going to release all of that, okay? That's how he won. That's how he got into office. Whatever happened to make America great again? Whatever happened to that? Make America great again. Wasn't that the slogan? Wasn't that a fucking slogan, I remember? And look where that's happened, mate. It's make Israel great. It's make Israel great. Whatever makes Israel happy, that's where we are now. There's no America great anymore. America doesn't fucking exist. Only Israel exists. Only the Nazi exists, mate. Okay? Only the Nazis exist, bro. The Nazi regime exists. And because they're paid. The lobbyists pay them, bro. You know, the American president, $400 million campaign. He was cheap. You know that Ted Cruz guy? Ted Cruz? He was only like $4 million in campaign contributions. He's incredibly cheap. You know, and that goes for all of the Senate. The whole fucking Senate's bought, mate. Every single one of them are bought. Every single one of them, bro, are fucking Zionist fucking Nazis, mate. Every one of them go to Israel. Every one of them pray at the wall. They're supposed to be representing the American people. The American people that voted them into office. They're supposed to be helping them. They're not supposed to be over there sucking the ball bag of fucking a Zionist nation, a genocidal regime. They're just not. You know, so they don't even represent the people that are in their constituency, mate. And they don't do anything for the people. That's like asking one of these politicians here to do anything, mate. The politicians in Australia are just as bad. We're just as corrupt. Don't worry. We're just as corrupt as you are. You know, over here, the Prime Minister, $400,000 made in contributions. That's it. 400 grand. That's all he's so cheap. He is so fucking cheap, mate, to buy Prime Minister. You know, just contributions, mate, just contributions. And they will not go against the contributor. They do not care about the public. The public don't give a fuck. They care about the people paying them money. You know, how do you think these politicians become multi-millionaires? I mean, seriously, multi-millionaires. They own multiple properties. You know, one of these people that have been in power for the last 30 years, he owns nearly 40 homes, 39 homes. He owns 39 homes, okay? 39. And that's just one of them that I know about. There's a lot of politicians that have multiple million-dollar properties, mate. Multiple. So you can't trust them at all, mate. Not for a fucking second. Now they're as corrupt as you can get. Anyway, hit that like button, viewer. Hit that like button. Give me a thumbs up. Well, I don't know if Epstein's still alive. I don't know. Apparently they've got photographs of him in Israel. They've photographed him in Israel. That's what I heard. At least that's the pictures that I seen. There's pictures of him from the top, okay, like down, facing down. Yeah, it's definitely Epstein, but I don't know when it was taken. But apparently he's in Israel, man. Apparently he's in Israel. And I suppose with that amount of material that you've done such a good job for Mossad. Of course they're going to get you out, mate, because they can't afford you talking. But it would be easier to kill him. It would be easier just to knock him off. Like when you think about it, it just would be a lot easier and a lot more convenient and clean if you knocked him off, because then you don't have to worry about him at all. You know, to keep him alive and get him out and all of that, I don't know, man. You know, there's a lot of work there from Mossad when they could just knock him off, okay? I mean, they've got all the materials. They've got all the material, mate. And then whatever materials the USA gets, Mossad will end up with it. It doesn't stay in the government's possession too long. And people wondered why, what was going on with Starmer. Why is Starmer so sucking the ball bag of the fucking regime, right, of the Nazis, right? Why is he so
Why is he passing all these laws? You know, why is he doing it? And it's simply put, man, he's admitted that he is a Jewish. He was raised Jewish with Jewish parents, and he believed, and they're Zionists. They believe in the regime. They believe in Israel regime. And he doesn't believe in it, of course, but he understands where they're coming from. He understands their point. So basically, he's telling you he agrees with everything. Okay, he's telling you he's a little Zio, mate. He's a little Nazi, mate, sitting behind there, just pushing the buttons. You know. So that's why they end up with the funding they do from the UK, the bombs and everything. They end up with the UK. That's how that happens. That's it. I just wanted to talk about the corruption, mate, and I hope people that understand, you know, what they're living in, the time that they're living in right now. You have blatant fucking liars, mate, sitting at you, telling you. It's like dealing with a fucking wife, mate. You know, when you listen to a politician, it's like dealing with your wife. You know, you got to like decipher what is really being said. You know, underneath, you know, the deciphering of it. And that's basically what I feel, mate. You've got to decipher these politicians, because they just lie. They absolutely lie. They say whatever's convenient for the time to keep you, the sheep, just going to work, paying your taxes, watching a football game, and just leaving it in their capable, corrupt hands. You know, leave all the decisions to them, you know, because they know better. They know what's better in your life. They know what to do in your life. And meanwhile, and what they do, mate, on the flip side of the point, is they keep everybody broke. They keep everybody broke, man. They put the price of food, they triple the price of electricity, gas, your water. That's all increased, huge, mate, huge increases on those. So that's more out of the family budget. So you've got less money, mate, because all of it's going towards bills. All of it's going towards bills. You know, when you get a bill in Australia, they give you the supply charge and they give you the usage, you know, when you turn the piece of paper over. And, you know, when you're looking at a supply charge of $120 and a usage charge of $40, then you realise how corrupt it is, because they are charging you a shitload of money just to have the supply charge. That means just available to your property. You know, there's gas connected. It doesn't mean you're using it. That's just how much they charge you to have it. So $120, mate, in the last bill. Okay, it's astronomical, mate, astronomical. So they're sending people to the wall. Basically, I'm telling you, they're sending people to the wall, mate. They're sending them broke, and they can only just barely fucking every week they're surviving paycheck to paycheck. And that's how the government wants you. They don't want you fucking living a good life. They don't want you fucking, you know, having a free life. They want you worried, man. They want you worried about the next week. Okay, how are you going to pay this? How are you going to pay that? That's what they want. You see, now the government can have that opinion. You know why, viewer? You know why the government thinks that way? You know, have you fucking thought about it? It's because these cunts don't lead the same life as you, mate. These fucking low dog mongrels that are in charge, these fucking Zionist fucking Nazis that are in charge, mate, they don't see a phone bill. They don't see an electrical bill, phone bill. They don't see fucking anything, mate. What the fuck, mate? Why do people leave shit everywhere? Yesterday, a fucking bag was left on the station too. Like an old man just walked off and left a bag, and I didn't see until after he'd left. You know, I couldn't fucking pull him up. You know, and let him know. The guy fucking left, mate. I you know, ended up leaving a bag there. You know, and it's got to be redone again, guys. It's got to be fucking, you know, and the message needs to be passed on, mate. The reason that they don't give a fuck is because they don't get an electric bill. They don't get a phone bill. They don't get a water bill. They don't get any fucking bills. All of their bills are fucking paid for. Everything is paid for them. They don't see anything. Okay? No phone bill, no nothing. They get a overnight allowance, each politician an overnight allowance of $240, I think it is. It might be $270 now. That's an overnight allowance. So if the politician wants to go and stay in a hotel, if he wants to go and stay at his own second residence, then he can claim that $270, even though it's his own residence that he goes and stays at. Then he gets $140 a night, I think it is, meal allowance, food allowance. So he can go to any restaurant and eat, okay? And that's every day of the week, okay? Every single fucking day. And these politicians claim all that. They fucking claim it all, bro. That's how they get multi-millionaire status, bro. Is that they claim that fucking overnight allowance and that food allowance every day. And that's a nice little whack. You got to admit, man, if you were copping fucking, 240, what's that, 370, if you were copping 410 every fucking day just for your expenses, your food and your bills, what would your life be like? What would your fucking life be like, mate? And then you're on fucking 400 grand a year in wages, man. So how much difference in fucking life would your life be? There we go. Sorry, I couldn't see. So that's why these politicians can sit there in their fucking $4,000 suits, mate, with that smirk in their fucking in their face. All of these Australian politicians have got the smirk, mate. They've got that fucking smirky fucking look about them, where you just want to give them a fucking slap, right? You just want to go fucking bang, right? And that's why they've got that smirky fucking look on their face. When someone asks them a question, they refuse to answer it, because they fucking know that you're a fucking pleb. You're a pleb cunt that goes home to live with your mama, and I'm going home to a fucking mansion, fucking, going to be highly fucking fed tonight. There's never a skinny politician, in case you haven't noticed that, mate. They're all fat cunts. They never miss a fucking meal, mate. No, they do quite well for themselves, mate, politicians, okay? Man, I always wonder what this building is. Like, what do they use it for, man? What was it used for? All the windows are sealed and shit. I've always wondered what the fuck it was for, bro. Obviously it had windows there before. It's not on a main road of any kind, so it can't be a building for a church or something like that. But it says no access all over it, authorised personnel only. And as far as I can tell, just the birds live there. I've never been, I don't think there's a door anywhere. There's got to be a door, eh? But it's always fascinated me, mate. What the fuck is this building for? What did they use it for? This looks like a doorway right here. It's been sealed. You can see how it's been sealed. Right? So that looks like a doorway, doesn't it? Let's have a look around the other side, mate. Yeah, nah, man. Oh, we've got a doorway over here. And the same thing, mate. It's been sealed. It's been sealed shut, bro. The train's going mad at me. Thinks I'm going to run across the tracks. Okay, so it was a delivery thing somewhere. They were delivering things somewhere. Oh, we've got a crack in there, boys. We've got a crack in there. So sunlight does get in there. And all the fucking things sealed up with bricks, mate. Look at that. It's all sealed up with bricks. So there was something delivering here, obviously from a train, maybe. Maybe this was a delivery for wool or something like that back in the old days. There's no plaque or anything. There's no dates on the building. That's what I'm looking for, man. Fucking dates of some kind. Because this is old, mate. Old shit right here. What does that sign say? Anything? Authorised personnel only. I don't know. If anyone can chuck a thing in the chat, mate, maybe someone would know. But it's definitely, there's a delivery area there. It looks like by train. It makes sense that would be that high. But there's no tracks here. There's no tracks anywhere or whatever. Like you'd think there would be railway tracks of some kind if it was a delivery thing. Maybe it's buried. Maybe it's buried underneath. I don't know. It's very fucking weird, man. And how old is it? How long has it been here? Like these kind of bricks, mate. Look at the size of those bricks, man. Like they're not normal sized bricks, are they? And when is mortar ever that fucking thick, man? You see how thick that is? It's just an unusual building, man. That's all. Just an unusual building. Yeah, that's plumbing, definitely. And that door being sealed, mate, is really sus. Sealed and painted over.
So there's no intentions of ever going in this building ever again. This building is completely fucking sealed. So whatever was in there, look, it's bricked up, man. All bricked up. I wonder what it was, man, back in the day. I wonder what it was. Fascinating, mate. What's that? What the fuck is that, mate? Is there like a tunnel in there or something? There's no hinges. That's not a hinge. Jeez, man, I don't know. I don't know, but it's had me fascinated for years. Because that's some heavy duty building blocks, mate. Like big building blocks, eh? It's not a little job. Fascinating, eh? Anyway, I'm old. Things like that fascinate me. Sorry, man. Sorry for that. Sorry. You'll look at it and go, bloody old bastard. Who cares about a building? Fucking, you know, you were interesting 5 minutes ago. Now you're fucking boring talking about a building. You can't. Fucking. Yeah, you get old, mate. You get transfixed by the most unusual things when you get older. Yeah, nothing I can do about that. Interesting, though, viewer. Very interesting. Thank God for the world, mate. Thank God, thank God. I really do. It's a beautiful day out here in the neighbourhood. It's a beautiful day in the neighbourhood. A beautiful day to be a neighbour. Won't you be mine? Won't you be mine? Won't you be my neighbour? Begin the trek home, mate. And that's my little bit of a stream for the day. I hope you don't mind. I hope you enjoyed it. You found a bit of entertainment in it. You know, it wasn't a waste of your time. I seem to get a lot of views after the stream ends because I don't really announce anything. I just go on live, you know. And I always get my loyal followers that come in, the 20 odd people or whatever that actually follow my channel quite regularly. So anyway, leave your opinion on the on my chat in my comment section. Where do you think the world is going to go in the next 12 months, 6 months? Because it doesn't look good. It just doesn't. I think the Zionist is going to try and get more control, more laws passed in Western countries. They're trying all over the world, mate, to pass these new anti-Semitism laws. It is not just Australia, it is everywhere. Everywhere. And if they get any kind of law done, then they'll come after social media. And they'll come after everything that's, you know, not pro-Zionism, okay? And they'll close down everything. They'll close down the sites. They'll close down all their channel, the fucking videos. You know, they'll have the entire thing scrubbed. Which is what they want to do. They want to bring in powers to empower themselves to decide what is and what isn't. And they'll tell you what is and what isn't, right? But we have the Supreme Court Justice in Australia has made a thing just a week ago that we are allowed to comment on anything we like in regards to anti-Zionism or, whatever we want, as long as we don't criticise a country, because that's a country, sorry. We're criticising an entire country. But if you criticise a person, an individual, and you go along the lines of he's Jewish, then you can be charged with anti-Semitism. But if you're calling them a fucking Nazi and a Zionist, then that's not, they can't charge you with that. Okay, that's why I was very particular in calling him a Nazi, and calling him a Zio, which he absolutely went crazy about. And then he called me a terrorist. I'm a terrorist. I'm a terrorist. I'm a terrorist because I spoke out about it. That's why, in his mind, I'm a terrorist. Because I dared to speak out. I dared to say anything. How dare you? Okay, you're a terrorist. Okay? That's how they are in their brain, dude. In their brain, that makes sense. Like in their brain, that actually clicks, okay? Which is so fucking weird. It's from where we are. But getting back to the governments, mate, there's nothing you can do about it. They're all corrupt, every fucking one of them. I don't know why you still vote. Your vote means nothing. You are fucking nothing but a pleb. And, you're not fucking special. You think going and voting makes you special. You're part of the system or whatever, and you're a fucking idiot. The whole fucking time you're a walking monkey. And they don't give a fuck who you vote for. They don't really care. They're going to change the vote to whatever they want anyway. And they don't like someone, well, like like Rennick. You know, our politician here, one of them was called Rennick, and a really good politician, like really, really spot on for the Australian public, speaks for us. So the things he wants to investigate, rah. Mate, they got him out of office so quickly, you've got no idea. Just shake your head. You just shake your head. How in the fuck did he lose, right? Because they're not counted, man. They only count to a particular amount, 34% or whatever it was, and then they stopped counting. They stopped counting. They just declared fucking, you know, Nobblehead a fucking Prime Minister. I mean, can I take a shit with someone, mate, that's got more fucking talent than fucking Albanese, bro? I mean, seriously, the fucking guy that running the milk bar has more fucking talent than Albanese. The guy, you know, that could run the country, make decisions a lot fucking better than Albanese can. I imagine behind the doors, mate, he's on his knees just slurping away on the fucking Jewish lobby. And he's got the nutsack and he's just giving it a little tickle, mate, as he goes along swallowing, right? And I believe that, man. I believe he just does whatever he's told. Whatever he's told. As long as he can keep his little seat of power and he collects his $450,000 a year, plus all expenses paid, that's all he cares about. That's it. That's all they all care about. And if they can put it off for another day, put it off and put it off and put it off, even better. Even better. Because they're going to retire, they get their retirement money, they get all that fucking payment from the super. That's all they care about. They do not give a fuck about your family. They don't care how you live. They don't care how your life is. And our government supplies these people with parts. I'm disgusted. They actually supply these fucking Nazis with the F-35 parts, the fighter jet pilot parts that are doing the bombings. Like, we are as complicit as you can be. Totally complicit. And the government comes out and says, no, we're not. We've got nothing to do with it, nothing to do with it. And then the secret fucking papers come out from the company itself. The company itself releases the paperwork. You know? So, Freedom of Information Act, you see. That's why. The company fucking released it. That's why. So it completely went against the government, the Australian government, what they were saying. They fucking lied. The government lied. And then they come out and go, oh no, we didn't know, you know, we weren't sure about it. We didn't know, we did import the parts, but we didn't know where they were going. We didn't know, they just ended up there and they ended up, you know, anywhere. We don't know where they ended up. So we don't know if those parts actually did do it. You know, that's how they fucking fob it off. That's how they fob it off. And I'm sick of giving these cunts money, bro. I can't get $5 for a fucking milkshake, mate. I can't get $5 fucking support on my channel for a chocolate milk. How in the cunts do these people get billions and billions of fucking dollars in funding? Billions of dollars. You know, we're paying, the fucking Americans are paying, the UK is paying, everybody's paying but Israel. Everybody's paying but Israel. Okay, the fucking Zionist regime, mate. And that is because they've got blackmail on everybody. Okay? They do, man, that's the fact. Mossad has blackmail on everybody. Everybody. All the governments of the world, especially Australia, anything they did wrong here. Who do you think pulled off Port Arthur? Who do you think pulled that off? I mean, you know, all you got to do is dig down and go into that fucking black hole. And it ties back to Mossad. It ties back to them. It ties back to them fucking orchestrating it, them actually doing it. Yeah, man, it ties back to them. They found the actual people that flew out, like left the country afterwards. Yeah, man, they found all that information since. But Martin Bryan's still in fucking lockdown. Still medicated, mate, for the fucking last 20 years the kid's been medicated. Can't speak a sentence, mate. Can hardly hold a verbal as far as I can tell. And it's exactly like the Chopper Read interview. You know, he said, I bumped into him, I asked him, you know, how did all those people die? And he says, I don't know. I woke up and everybody's dead. You know, there you go. There's your answer. Okay? I don't know. I woke up and everybody is dead. You know? That's it. And heaps of evidence, mate, came out that they didn't produce. Because it didn't fit the narrative. It just didn't. All the witness statements, they were just forgotten about. There was witness statements saying, that's not the person that shot me. Okay? That is not the person that shot me. And here we are, you know, he's in jail for it. And the witness that got shot looked at him and said, no, that's not him. That's not him. And her statement was pulled out. All the witness statements were pulled out. Anybody that said anything different than what the government is trying to fucking sell. And they sold it that way, mate, so that we can get our guns taken from us. You know, Australians all had guns, mate. We all hunted. We believed in the amendment, rah. And the Australian public just swallowed it like a fucking fish, bro. They believed everything. You know, they believed a lone gunman was fucking shooting people from 400 metres away and 300 metres away. Headshots. Everybody was a headshot, bro. Everybody was a headshot, okay? Martin Bryan was a multi-millionaire. You probably didn't know that. He was a thing for Tattersalls, an inheritor. He got all the ladies' money. So he was a multi-millionaire, never had to work a day in his life. And so no, for him to, you know, what they're saying is just preposterous. It's just fucking ludicrous. And they took all of his money. They took everything, man. All of his, the whole bank, they took everything, you know. Yeah. Very, very sad, mate, the whole fucking story, to be honest, because he's not all there, Martin Bryan. He's not all there in the head. He's a fucking, like a child, mate. So, you know what I mean? He's one of those kind of people that are fucked up in the head. I don't know what you call them, you know. But anyway, if you go down that wild fucking path, you'll find, mate, that this is tied back to Mossad. It's tied right back as far as that to them. Like, these people have been doing this shit for other countries for years. They're the ones that come in, run the operation, and then they can fuck off. They're the ones that come in, set the building up full of fucking bombs, you know, sit there fucking from a kilometre away and stand on a van waiting for it to happen and cheer when it's fucking happened. You know, you're there to record the event. That's what he told the interviewer, we're here to record the event. So they knew. They knew before it even fucking happened that it was going to happen. So I believe that they're tied back, this Mossad and the fucking, the Israel government is tied back to all of this stuff. I reckon blackmail and all of that has been in there, part of their shtick for years. It's part of their fucking how they get power, how they get leverage. You know, they'll use anything they can, mate, the Zionists. So if they can set you up with an underage, or they can set you up in with drugs on the table in front of you and you didn't even touch it, but it's still sitting in front of you. So it could be made out like you did. Yeah? There could be all kinds of shit, dude. I mean, you could just be invited, just sitting down at a table, right? Everything's cool. You got a drink in front of you. And this fucking beautiful chick walks up and throws a bit of fucking couple of lines down on the table. You don't even touch them. The chick starts fucking partaking, right? She's partaking, puts a few more lines on the table. The entire time that it's being filmed, right? It's being filmed, mate, by a statue in the fucking corner here. And that's it, mate. That's all they need. You don't need to actually have touched the fucking stuff. But because you're in a room with it and you're with a girl with it, bang, they'll say the girl's underage, you were doing the drug. Mate, your career is over. It's over. Okay? It's finished. You know, now what are you going to do for us? What are you going to do? And the rest of them are just corrupt. They're just bought. The rest of the politicians are just paid for. That's honest, man. They're just paid for. They're just contributing through APAC and they're bought. They don't need any blackmail because they just want money. And as soon as you've paid them a couple $100,000 and sent them on a nice Israel holiday to bless the wall, that's it. You own them. They don't need any blackmail. A lot of these people are just plain fucking corrupt. And they don't give a fuck about anything else except the dollar. You're all right, miss. Yeah, we had an instance here, I think, last week. Some fucking 17-year-old kid has raped a fucking woman on a path somewhere. Fucking incredible, insane. They caught him. He was fucking 17 years old, mate. And he raped a fucking lady walking her fucking dog, mate, on the fucking path, mate. Full on fucking case here, bro. And they wouldn't release his ID, though. They wouldn't release a picture of the kid because he's 17, mate. 17 fucking years old, brother. Like, that's insane. That's for what fucking country do you come from, mate, where it's, you know what I mean? Like, especially in Australia, mate, you're going to do fucking heavy-ass time over here. Like, this shit's taken pretty serious over here in Australia. I'm sick of that also, all men. There's another advertising for it. You know, all men are going to do this and all men are going to do that. You know, like, it's a fucking joke, mate. I got into an argument with a lady on TikTok the other night. I got my comment section taken from me because that's exactly what she has stated. You know, all men you can't trust, and all men if you go for a walk on a path. And I just simply wrote, you know, when in all of the 60 years of your life have you ever been attacked? Just name one time in your 60 fucking years on the earth, mate, because she's not a young chick, mate, this one on the camera. Like, she's pretty old, you know, and she looks 60 to me. And of course she called me a terrible, horrible man. You're a putrid human being for asking me this. You know, how am I a fucking putrid human being, you horrible fucking woman? And then straight away, of course, you complain and write a report about my comment. And my comment, and I get done for 2 days, mate. I get done for 2 days, no commenting on TikTok. Simply because I asked a question. Because it's fact. You're on there fucking bagging out the shit out of fucking men, blaming men for fucking everything, right? But when were you ever attacked? You know, you're walking along the path right now, the same path you've walked on for the last fucking whatever amount of years. You are 60 fucking years old. It's not the first time you've walked along that path, you know? But she can't give you an answer because she's never been attacked. She's never been attacked. She's never been threatened. She's never fucking under threat from any grown-ass fucking, you know, there's not many Paul Denyers walking around the fucking neighbourhood, bro. You know, Paul Denyers in fucking jail, mass serial fucking rapist who concentrated on pathways, but over in Cranbourne, only on the one pathway. What an idiot, okay? Cut a hole in the fence, dragged them into the fence, rah-rah. It didn't take him long to get fucking busted, bro. You know, like, those are rare occasions, man. It's not every fucking day it happens. But it did happen the other day, and I was upset about it because I just got done making that comment to the lady, and then I go on to Google and I read the article on Google, and I was quite fucking taken back by it. And then I realised, hang on a minute, they're holding the picture of the child, or, you know, the 17-year-old, you know, you can't see his ID, you can't see his picture. He's definitely black. He's definitely black. If he was an Aboriginal, I think they would have dropped a hint here or there, just to put down the Aboriginal people. They would have dropped a hint. But it didn't look like he was Aboriginal or anything. But definitely a dark coloured gentleman, put it that way. But I'm sick of that attitude, mate. All men. I really am. I'm tired of it coming down to all men. That's what women say, all men. And when we have a comment, you know, it's not all women, it's not all women, it's only a small thing, it's not all women, it's not me. You know, I would never do that. Fucking bullshit, you'd never do that. Bullshit. Mate, the one chick that's telling you she won't do this or she won't do that, trust me, man, she's the one chick that's going to do it. She's going to do it on the sly, she's going to do it on the quiet, mate. She's going to do it so no one fucking knows, man, but she's going to do it. She's going to do it, boys, trust me, man. She's going to fucking do it, brother. Anyway, man, I hope you enjoyed your little thing with you today. Hope everybody's happy and healthy and well, and, you know, you enjoy your fucking time with me and shit. Give us a like if you wouldn't mind. What is this? Oh, fucking, you have been selected for a Department of Employment and Workplace Relations survey. Your feedback is vital. You need to complete the online survey. I don't need to fucking do anything. I hate when people tell me I have to do something. I don't have to do anything. I don't have to do anything. And kiss my fucking ass. Don't tell me that I have to do something or that I'm obligated to do something. I'm not obligated by anybody. I'm a free fucking human. And if I don't want to do something, I'm not doing it. It doesn't matter if what the fuck they tell me that I've got to do. If I don't want to do it, I'm not doing it. It's as simple as that. Anyway, enjoy your day. Okay, stay positive in your day. Hopefully you give us a thumbs up, you leave a couple of comments, mate, about how corrupt this fucking whole thing is and how fucked up it all is. And, you know, we've got 380,000 dead in Gaza. The place is a moonscape, totally destroyed. You've got 600 people now that are killed getting humanitarian aid, unarmed women and children. And these places are only open for mere minutes in a whole day. 7 minutes in one day. That's when it's open, okay? And then as soon as they decide they want to use it, they close the gate, they lock everybody in, and they've got one tunnel to get out of the place. So you've got a huge entrance and you've got a small tunnel to get out. And then once they've closed those gates, man, and told everybody they've got to leave, that's it, they start shooting. They start fucking shooting, man. They start to scare them, to make them run away, you know, to make them fucking leave. So they start shooting people, mate. We have 600 fucking people that are dead, mate, looking for humanitarian aid. 600 people have been shot. Now, a fucking Zio fucking Nazi will look at you and go, well, that's Hamas. Hamas is stealing all the food. It's Hamas's fault. Hamas has done this and Hamas has done that. There's completely no reflection on them killing 600 fucking people. None. There's none. You know, they always say it's this one's fault or that one's fault. They never fucking, you know, it doesn't come into the Nazi brain, bro. It just doesn't enter their fucking brain, you know? They're unarmed. You're the one shooting them, mate. You're the one killing them. Oh, it's all Hamas. If Hamas would just leave our hostages and let our people go and would live in peace, then none of this would happen. It's basically your fault for them killing you. All right, viewer, it's your fault. It's your fucking fault because we've got to fucking shoot you now. We've got to kill everybody. We've got to wipe the fucking joint out and turn it into a moonscape, brother. You know, and they blame Hamas. It's Hamas's fault. You know, and they're all Hamas. Once you do a few investigations, man, you find out that they regard civilians as Hamas. They're all Hamas. Women, children, doctors, nurses, fucking media, all Hamas. You got to say it with that tone, mate. Hamas. That's how you got to say it, though, bro. You can't just say normal. You got to say Hamas. You got to fucking put that thing in your throat, bro. These fucking Nazis, bro. They're fucking Nazis, bro. They're nothing but Nazis. Walking, talking fucking Nazis, mate. Anyway, enjoy your day. Stay positive. Stay on your path. I'm going to go home now and rest. Have a sit down, mate. Have a coffee. You know, that's about it for me for the day. I don't know if I'll come on later on and annoy you. You know, I just seen some videos this morning that disturbed me, so I thought I'd share a couple of hours with you. That's about it, you know. Take care. Give us a thumbs up, mate, if you don't mind. I know all of you cunts don't even give me a thumbs up to watch my video. You don't give me a thumbs up in anything. You don't leave a comment. You don't drop me a chocolate milk. Yeah, basically you're a bunch of fucking freeloading cunts, mate. That's about it, really. You fucking freeloaded fucking rats. Anyway, give us a thumbs up, you cunts. See you later, all right? Catch you easy. All right, bye-bye.